everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of field certification, meaning your career path that has been chosen, and why it's important for not only you to desire to maintain a certification within your specified field, but for your organization to also enforce the requirement for that certification. So we're going to move forward, and I'm going to share with you, for those of you, some of you may know what this is, some may not, but I call this my I Love Me book. And this I Love Me book is just filled with nothing but different certifications, different training classes I've taken. And the reason I call it my I Love Me book is because I love myself enough to continue to be relevant in today's workforce. I want to constantly be a good source of information for not only my employer, but for those I talk to. I want to maintain current knowledge. I want to understand what's going on in the field that I'm working in, new developments, new technology. And that aspect cannot be more important than cybersecurity. Electronics, technology, and that. Everybody knows that is probably one of the most fastest advancing fields there is. There's always something new coming right around the corner. It could be tomorrow. And if you're not current on what's going on, then not only are you putting yourself at risk as far as your skills and being useful in the workforce, but you're putting that employer at risk, whoever's employed you. So here's a great example of CompTIA CyberSec. And you can see it says the CE right down at the bottom. Well, what that means is continuing education. In order for me to maintain this certification, I have to maintain some level of continuing education. And for most of us, it's not a big challenge because we're constantly taking training courses and seeking out new things in that. But then there are some individuals who would rather, in their mind, I've got my degree, I've done what was required of me to get that degree, I shouldn't require anything else. Well, I'm going to explain to you where the problem in that lies. And that is, for a lot of you young people coming out of school and college, and you've got these great new ideas, you've learned all these new technologies and everything. If you go into a workforce and you're under a manager who, say, maybe they got their degree 20 years ago, that's not going to help you in the least, because if that manager is not maintaining current awareness of what's going on in the field that you're working in, then the odds of them being open to the new ideas that you're bringing to the table from what you've learned in your schooling, it's minimal. And you're going to feel like your skills are going to be stifled and that your voice isn't being heard, and that you could probably do a lot more for the company, but because your manager is not open to that, you're not able to. So that's the argument on why it's important for the organization to care about this. Because as an organization, you want managers in positions who are staying up on the technology, staying up on their field of study. And these bright minds coming in from colleges who have some of these great new skills and new awarenesses, you're bringing those skills into your organization. Certification verifies that. Certification verifies that you've got employees and staff members who care enough to seek out additional knowledge and continue that knowledge and keep building it. And in return, the company benefits from that. With students who are saying, well, why should I get the certification if it's not required for me? Well, when you send your resumes and you're looking for employment, you want to stick out. You want to stick out as that person who is going to bring a lot to the table. And because there's probably going to be a lot of resumes out there who have bachelors and maybe some that has masters or just associates. But in any case, you want to have different certifications in your resume, because that indicates that yes, you went to school and you got your degree, but you realize that that's not all that you need to do to be successful in the workforce in this day and time. You need to continue your education. You need to seek out different opportunities. You need to maintain situational awareness on what's going on in your field of study. So this is my argument or my stance for why certifications are required. And as an example, some people think, oh, it's just limited to certain fields of study. Well, that's not necessarily true either, because if you look at, say, like a purchasing department, well, now there's a lot of aspects that are new that have come about in the last 10 years. One, for example, would be supply chain management and supply chain security risk. If you go to a purchasing person and you mention the words supply chain management or supply chain risk and want to know a certain vendor's level, if that purchasing person has no clue about what you're talking about, then there's going to be a huge disconnect and there's going to be huge risk for that company. So in order for that purchasing person to stay up on what's going on in their field of specialty, there's certifications within purchasing. So every field has different offerings for how you can maintain awareness of what's changing for your industry, for your field of study, for your work aspect, what job you're in. And I just reach out and encourage everybody to seek those out. Seek out organizational groups that can lead you to other avenues. A lot of these certifications are supported through the employer, so it's no expense to the employees, as well as a lot of the training. There's a lot of training out there on the internet that's free. You can just go out and just like you're looking at this video, YouTube it. So seek out information, stay relevant, and be a source of information, good information, and skills for the employer that you're either working for now or your future employer. Thank you for your time.